Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out top 10 British one-hit wonders. I saw Chumbawamba on the thumbnail, so I know Chumbawamba's going to be on this list. Chumbawamba.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British one-hit wonders. For this list, we'll be ranking the British artists who saw huge chart success with a single song. We realise that some of these acts may have seen some minor single action on the lower end of the charts, but these groups should largely be defined by their one big hit. Do you love any of these one-hit wonders? Do you feel they deserved better? Let us know in the comments.
All right.
Number 10. Pump Up the Volume, Mars.
That's British? I remember that song.
We've got to give it up for the Blink and You Missed It recording project known as Mars. This collaboration between the groups A.R. Kane and Colourbox and a pair of DJs named Dave Durrell and Chris McIntosh knew when to call it a day. The Pump Up the Volume single was the only thing released by the group, a massive electronic smash that was far more successful than that record's B-side, Anatina, The First Time I See She Dance. Mars knew how to capitalize on a driving house techno beat, leading Pump Up the Volume to fill up the dance floors throughout 1987 and beyond. We guess that this project just knew to quit while they were ahead.
I remember hearing Pump Up the Volume on the radio a lot. I didn't know they were British. I didn't know that was their one song or their one single. They didn't even have an album. They just had an A-side and a B-side single. That's amazing. And it was a hit. I wonder how much money they made from that. It's probably very difficult to tell because record contracts, it looks like they have a lot of releases of just Pump Up the Volume. All these different versions of it. Looks like they sold about 1.3 million copies, but I can't really tell how much money they made.
Number 9. Wellam Man, Nathan Evans. It's fairly commonplace for songs to become popular and viral via TikTok. Wellam Man from Nathan Evans was one such song, a cover of a traditional sea shanty that found an audience during the 2020 lockdown.
Oh.
If sea shanties sound like they're a niche market, well, that's because they are. But Evans honestly does a solid job with the material. However, the singer and internet sensation hasn't, of yet, been able to replicate the lightning in a bottle response to Wellam Man. Then again, who knows? Maybe the shanty talk trend will finally take a firmer hold within the pop culture zeitgeist.
I've never heard this song. It doesn't really, it's not my kind of jam. I do remember back in 2020, hearing about a sea shanty trend that was going on, but only because some late night talk show hosts made fun of it. I think Seth Meyers. Interesting. Wow, this was unexpected. Okay, so he was number 9. Wow, congrats. One hit is more hits than most people have.
Number 8. Turning Japanese, The Vapors.
Right.
The early days of MTV were chock full of British new wave acts, making a remarkable amount of headway across the pond. The Vapors were one of those groups, a Surrey quartet that struck it big with their smash 1980 single, Turning Japanese. The not-so-subtle euphemism for self-pleasure was actually a breakup song, complete with a stylish music video that made heavy rotation on MTV. The Vapors were proud of the tune, and even surmised that it might be difficult to top. As a result, it's been reported that the group initially tried to make Turning Japanese their second single. This didn't end up happening, and the Vapors' worst fears came true. They'd become one-hit wonders. But what a hit, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember that song, but I guess I always attributed it to some larger band. I didn't know it was just these guys. One hit's more than most people get, so good for them. I had no idea that it was about self-pleasuring. But it's actually a breakup song. I had no idea. You know, when you're a little kid and you hear these things on the radio, you don't understand what they're talking about. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm turning Japanese.
Number 7. Teletubbies say eh-oh, the Teletubbies.
Seriously?
It's one thing to engage in the perfectly acceptable practice of singing along with one's children as they're watching a favourite TV show.
Ugh.
However, it's another thing entirely for a song the likes of Teletubbies Say Eh-Oh to actually make the pop music charts. Startlingly, this was exactly what happened back in 1997, when this theme tune to the children's program hit #1 for 2 weeks in a row. To be fair, reports at the time seemed to know exactly what was going on. This was striking while the iron was hot. Teletubbies Say Eh-Oh was a novelty hit, plain and simple. An earworm that existed to thrill little ones and annoy their parents.
Wow, this was on the charts. That's crazy. I think they're right on that this was a novelty thing and it was just an earworm, and it probably got programmed into the parents' brains because their little kids are watching it. Yeah, Teletubbies. You know, I read an article about someone who played I think it was the purple Teletubby, maybe the red Teletubby, but they had some pretty harsh working conditions. Apparently, the suits were really hot. They can barely see, they can barely breathe. They had long hours, and it was not a fun job, but they pulled it off. I mean, what great actors. They look super happy. Amazing. Amazing that this made it into the charts. Thank goodness it didn't stay for long, right?
Number 6. Do You Really Like It? DJ Pied Piper and the Master of Ceremonies. 1 week. Do You Really Like It by DJ Pied Piper and the Master of Ceremonies hit the #1 slot for 7 days back in the spring of 2001. It quickly slid down the chart, but did manage to retain some staying power for a few months before finally falling off. The song is a relatively innocuous dance track, a little shuffling, a little funky, and dance floor friendly. Do You Really Like It seemed to hit a nostalgic note for pop fans, a light 90s throwback that wasn't out to set the world on fire. Instead, DJ Pied Piper and the Master of Ceremonies just got in, hit #1, and quietly faded away back to obscurity.
I never heard that song before. I can see why it was a hit. It's a dance song, great beat, innocuous lyrics. Wow, never heard it. Spring of 2001. I remember those days. Pre-9/11, just partying. I get it.
Number 5. Remember Me, Blue Boy. Alexis Lex Blackmore only managed to release a single EP under the moniker of Blue Boy. However, said EP from 1996 did manage to score a single hit the following year with the track Remember Me. The song is a repetitive head bopper that makes the most out of its Melina Shaw sample, combining that vocal with an easily danceable beat. There's a little funk and a little jazz here on Remember Me, twisted into a soulful form that's difficult to resist. Lex and Blue Boy never really reached these heights again, but it doesn't really matter, because we'll never forget Remember Me.
I never heard that song before, but I like what I heard. I love the drum sound and the bass. The production overall is really cool on that one. I like it. Actually, that's my favorite one so far. What's it called again? Remember Me? I gotta remember that.
Number 4. Fire, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire.
The career of Arthur Brown is one that's been highly respected within the worlds of psychedelic and progressive rock. However, he's also known as a one-hit wonder within the pop realm, thanks to this inexplicably weird jam from 1968. Fire opens up with some serious intent, as Brown howls to the depths and beyond about his status as the god of hellfire. Then it's off to the races, with some swirling psychedelic organ and swelling horn arrangements to make Fire truly one of a kind. For the full effect, however, you just gotta watch Arthur Brown perform the song live, or on a show like Top of the Pops. It's unbridled proto-shock rock madness.
Wow, I can't believe that came out in 1968. So I have heard of Arthur Brown. It was a joke in a Map Men video, and I looked it up, and all I knew was that this band existed. I'd never heard the music. Okay, so now I'm putting it together. He was a one-hit wonder in the late 60s with this song Fire. That is creepy, especially for the time. Actually, really compelling video too with those fire effects. Wow. It looks like Alice Cooper may have stole his gig.
Number 3, Tub Thumping, Chumbawamba.
Wait,
Does one...
what did he say that band's name was?
Number 3, Tub Thumping, Chumbawamba.
He said Chumbawamba? It's Chumbawamba. 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 It says it on here, Chumbawamba. But he said Chumbawamba. What?
Chumbawamba. Does one really need to know the lengthy history of Chumbawamba to appreciate their status as a one-hit
Chumbawamba.
wonder? No, not particularly. That said, the group was around for an astonishing 30 years prior to their dissolution in 2012. Before their one big hit, Tub Thumping, Chumbawamba was primarily known for their roots in the anarcho-punk rock scene of groups like Crass. This makes the success of their international dance smash even more unique, because the song actually possesses a bit of depth beneath the surface. Vocalist Dunstan Bruce acknowledged Tub Thumping during an interview with The Guardian, discussing its ties to Chumbawamba's ongoing lyrical themes of working-class struggle and resilience in the face of difficult odds. Not too bad for just another dance song, right?
I have to admit, when I first heard this song on the radio, I thought, oh, that's a good song. And it quickly became annoying. It just does the chorus too many times. The song could be half as long and it would be more effective. I think it's wonderful that this punk band had a one-hit wonder with a dance song. That's what wonderful, like that's almost proof of the existence of God having a sense of humor. I love that.
Number 2, I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles, The
I love that
Proclaimers.
song. I love the song.
You know them, you love them. They're Scotland's The Proclaimers, and they're a proud one-hit wonder. Thankfully, that main hit is a catchy one too, the infectious I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles from 1988. This is
great.
also despite the fact that
88.
The Proclaimers are actually a successful band, with some other well-performing singles and some truly devoted fans. However, it's nearly impossible to separate the group from this defining tune. Granted, this could be due to I'm Gonna Be's immediately recognizable video, or its inclusion on movie soundtracks. One thing's for sure, the Proclaimers have done just fine for themselves, despite whether or not anyone actually knows another one of their singles.
I don't. Yeah, I like the song. I think I search for it and listen to it like maybe once a year. I just want to hear it. And by the time the song's over, that's enough. It scratched my itch for another year. But I think it's a fun song. It makes me feel good. I'm glad these guys are still selling records. And what an iconic video. Just the two of them. It's so odd. I love how earnestly they're performing it too. They're really belting it out. I love that. They're committing. It's great. Who's number 1?
Number 1, the one and only Chesney Hawkes.
Huh?
The world of movie soundtracks can be a great place to find some absolutely classic songs. It can also be a one-hit wonderland as well. Such was the case with the one and only from Chesney Hawkes, a tune that first gained popularity thanks to its inclusion on the soundtracks to the 1991 films Buddy Song and Doc Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The tune actually feels more 80s than 90s, and this
It
is no
does.
insult. The production is slick and layered, yet
Yeah.
Hawk's strong vocal really shines through, in a sweet way. The one and only is well composed too, featuring some smart key changes and a super big sounding chorus. It's unabashed pop rock with a melodic heartbeat that's impossible to resist. We'll say it, Chesney Hawkes deserved more number 1 hits.
I think the only time I heard that song was when I watched Doc Hollywood. I know I've seen that movie, so I must have heard that song before. I didn't recognize it until it played the whole chorus. One-hit wonders. You know, millions of people get into the entertainment industry, the music industry, and never have a single hit. Ever. So, I think the term one-hit wonder is considered a failure, but it's a hit. That's success. I never had a hit. I've been in bands. Never had a hit. Never got a record deal. Never. So, congrats to these guys. Congrats to these folks for having a hit. I like that Remember Me song the best, I think. Yeah, I like Remember Me. 1996, okay. Kind of reminds me of Fatboy Slim a little bit. Yeah, I'm surprised I hadn't heard of a lot of these. I guess they were just hits in the UK. Well, I'm really enjoying being exposed to the British music scene. I'm surprised that I haven't heard some of these. Kind of cool. And now I have this I'm the One and Only song stuck in my head. It's stuck in there. Ah, I'm going to be thinking about it the rest of the day. Anyway, thank y'all for watching this video with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.